So Barnes& Noble's had a sale a couple days ago, so I picked up a couple of movies. The first one I picked up is Heretic. This is the Blu-ray, and this is the Arrow release, which they always do great releases. To me, they do some of the best releases when it comes to just how the packaging and the special features. Some of the big special features, but like this comes with tons of special features. I love the way the packaging looks. This is the back. The cast is great in this. Hugh Grant plays a really fun villain in this, but he's just a very interesting character. And the two girls in this, two main girls, I think they're great in this movie. I cared about their characters. One of the two girls is a girl that was in The Companion earlier this year, which is a movie I highly recommend to go check out. Great movie. But it's just a great movie when it comes to like story, characters, and Hugh Grant. Like I said, he's just a really interesting guy in this. And I love how this movie talks about how you have different religions, but it does it in a way that's really interesting. Like, I've never been a really religious person, but the way it's handled in this movie when it comes to just scenes with them, like, discussing religion, it's, like, really interesting. And I was, like, when I was watching, I was like, oh, man, this is really interesting. Like, it did religion in a way where it was just very compelling to me in the movie. So, just great movie. And then you have the artwork on the inside. You have the Blu-ray. Then you got the artwork on the front. And it does come with 4 postcards. So you have that one. You have that one. That one. Sorry for the glare, there's a glare there. And then you got that one. And apparently on the back, it looks like it does form the map you see in the movie. So I think that's really cool. You can probably put them together and it will, like... I think that's really cool. But it always does a great job when it comes to this packaging and just like... Oh. Excuse me. 5 postcards. I forgot about one. There you go. But just a great movie. I highly recommend. It says postcards, so my mistake. It would be 6 postcards. I think that's all of them. Yep, 6 postcards. Great movie. Highly recommend you go check it out. The whole cast do a great job, and it's just, to me, probably my favorite movie about like religion. Like I said, it does it in a way that's just really interesting, and just even the scenes where they're just talking about religion, I was like really engaged. The next movie is Tommy Boy I picked up on 4K, and this does come with the Blu-ray. It comes with a good amount of bonus features. To me, Chris Farley was one of the funniest actors, and David Spade is great in this movie too. They have this great chemistry when it comes to this buddy friendship between these two characters. So I think there's a great chemistry in this movie where they're really funny together, and there's just a lot of really great comedy moments in this movie. And Chris Farley, to me, this is his best comedy movie, for me at least personally. It's one of those kind of movies that has a lot of heart too. I felt like it was really funny, but at the same time had a lot of heart, and the characters I just found extremely likable. So that's the front and back. You got the front cover, which is the same as the slip cover, same as the back of the slip cover. Got the Blu-ray in 4K. So I would definitely recommend check out Tommy Boy. To me, if you're looking just for a funny movie, and if you're looking for one of Chris Farley's best movies, this to me is one of his best movies, and for me, my personal favorite. Next 10 is Escape from New York. One of my favorite John Carpenter movies, a classic. Kurt Russell, I think, is great in this movie. I love the character Snake Plissken, and I love the gritty, dark, just like grimy look to the movie. It has this really cool aesthetic when it comes to the way the city visually looks, where it looks scary and it has like horror moments in it. Whereas considered John Carpenter, it has moments of just like where you feel like you're watching a horror movie, and just the way New York looks. Like I said, it has just this grimy, scary look to it that I loved. I would definitely recommend Escape from New York. This is a classic. So it's the 4K. It comes with, that's the back, comes with hours of bonus features. So you got the 4K and Blu-ray. So that's the 4K. And then you have the Blu-ray and the special features on a Blu-ray disc. But great movie, classic movie. one of John Carpenter's best. Like, go check out Escape from New York if you haven't seen this movie. And I love the front cover with the statue. Next in is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. I'm a big Jim Carrey fan. To me, this is one of Jim Carrey's best movies. Like, I enjoyed the second one. The second one is still a fun movie, but it felt more like a skit, and I felt like Jim Carrey in a sequel was just kind of. It felt like he was playing more characteristic and more of a cartoon character, where I still like I said, I still have fun with the second one. I still love the character in the second one, but it did feel like in the sequel, like it got a little bit, it went more ridiculous. In this movie, the first movie I felt more grounded, I felt more like a movie, and I felt like Jim Carrey's character. This movie felt more like he was actually playing a character. Again, still think the second one's fun, but I prefer the first one personally. And I don't think the second one was as funny as the first one. But this is a fun cover. You got the back cover. It does come with hours of bonus pieces. And then you got the Blu-ray and 4K. But just a great movie. One of Jim Carrey's classics. Like, I definitely recommend Ace Ventura. And I would say check out the second one. But the first one, in my opinion, is one of his funniest movies. Next then is Galaxy Quest. Love this movie. Like, to me, this reminds me like of a Star Trek movie. I'm not. Let me say this: I'm not like the biggest Star Trek fan. Like, I'm more of a Star Wars person, but it does have like Disney. I'm like, yeah, that reminds me of something I was seeing in Star Trek, but it does it in a way where it doesn't feel like it's making fun of Star Trek. And I love how this movie celebrates fandoms in a way where it doesn't feel like it's making fun of the fans, when it celebrates like how you have those conventions. And the cast, I think, is just great in this. Like Tim Allen, Zoe Weaver, Sam Rockwell, like the whole cast is fantastic. They have great chemistry in this. I love all the characters. I thought the prosthetics on the bad guy looks really cool. Like, I love how it looks in this movie. And like I said, the whole cast I think is great in this movie. It's a really funny movie too. Like, it has just for me, a comedy I thought was hilarious in this. I just love all the characters. So Galaxy Quest is a movie I highly recommend go check out. To me, it's a great comedy movie, and one of my favorite Tim Allen performances. Just a really funny movie. His back, that was the front, and it does come with a good amount of bonus pieces. And it's the same as the slipcover, which I've talked about in some videos. I'm not really a fan when you just make the slipcover the same as the front cover. Like, at least, do make it look different. Like, just don't just like copy the front cover of the case. That's the one. It's a minor gripe, and it's like a little nitpick I have. But overall, when it comes to the packaging, like, I do like the way the slip cover and front cover looks. But I do wish they like at least made the front cover different from the slip cover. That's just the thing when it comes to physical media that sometimes I just have where it's the same as the front cover, which I wish they would change it up. But when it comes to the movie, fantastic movie, great movie. To me, one of the Tim Allen's best movies, and I highly recommend go see Galaxy Quest. I highly recommend go watch Galaxy Quest if you haven't checked out the movie. Next then is Thunderbolts on Blu-ray. This movie should have done better in theaters, because I know the MCU's been on a shaky track record with the multiverse saga, which I agree, it'd have been more miss than hit, personally. But this is like one of those comic movies that I thought was great. I love how it deals with like depression and how it deals with very relatable themes about sometimes you feel empty, or you feel like you're going through the motions in life, and it just feels like you have no purpose. And I love the characters. Like, the only negative I would say I had with this movie is that when it came to Taskmaster, I didn't really care for Taskmaster in the Black Widow movie, and I understand why the director did it, killed off the character to show the stakes and show that anybody could die in this movie. And there's a great moment in Lena where she's like telling Ghost how when they're talking about since she was new Taskmaster Lena, how like it's kind of tragic how this is how they're probably all gonna end up. They're all gonna die because all like bad people. But I really wish they kept Taskmaster alive, because even though I didn't like this version of Taskmaster, I would like to. I feel like you could have done something interesting there, because Taskmaster Black Widow was just mind controlled throughout the whole movie, and I just think there could have been something interesting there. And I know originally Taskmaster was going to be a huge part of the story, so that's the only really nitpick I had. Like, and I would say Ghost doesn't really get like I would say this. I like Ghost much more in this movie compared to the Ant-Man sequel, but I would say Ghost out of the cast doesn't get as much as, let's say, Bucky, Elena, and my Guardian and US Agent. But I love all the characters. I think they're all great characters, and it's a shame this movie didn't do well. Cause I feel like this and the Fantastic Four movie I wish was doing better too. I feel like the MCU for me personally has made two great movies, and I feel like they're getting back on track. But I also understand the brand's just been kind of like, it's the brand has definitely been damaged, and I think it's hard to do a movie about Thunderbolts when they're not really well known. It's not really a well known team in the comics either. Like these are all like characters that are like supporting characters, so I think it was a tough sell with this movie. But it's a movie that I really highly recommend. You go check out. If you're a Marvel fan, this to me is one of the best ones in my opinion. So that's the front. That's the back. It does come with some bonus pieces. And that's what the Blu-ray looks like. It's all yellow, like the front and like the case and the front of the slip. But yeah, it's a movie I highly recommend. Go check out. Great movie, one of my favorites this year. Next thing I picked up is Accountant 2 on 4K. Which I love this movie. I love the first one, but I thought this was even better than the first movie. Like I love the characters. I think John Bonehouse and Isaac have great chemistry. I really buy them as brothers, and it's just they're really fun together. The two characters. So it's a movie that, yeah, the plot gets a little convoluted, I think, but overall, I think this is a movie. This is a movie I would highly recommend go check out because I think it's a great movie. When it gets to the Aston towards the end, I think it has really great Aston scenes, and overall, I just think the story was a little bit more interested in this movie than the first movie. So like I love the first movie, but I thought this was one of the sequels that improved on the first movie. And I was happy we even got a sequel because the first movie didn't make that much money, if I remember. And I know this movie didn't make too much money either. So I'm curious if they're going to do a third one, but I hope they do because I love the world they set up, and they expand it more in this movie. So great ass movie. I think John Bonehouse and Patrick look great in it, and I just love the butter relationship between the two characters. It's front, it's back. I do like the front cover of the slip, and then same as the slip cover. It does come with some. I think it does come with some bonus pieces, I believe. Like I don't see it in the back, but I'm assuming it does come with some bonus pieces. But yeah, 4K. Yeah, I would recommend check out this movie though. Like to me, check out the first one also. Like I know the first one wasn't it was decently received. I know this one was more well received. I do think it's better than the first movie. But I would say check out the first one first and then check out the second one. That's in is Final Destination Bloodlines on Blu-ray. I love this movie. As someone who's a big fan of the franchise, to me this was the best one. Like this one and the original are my favorites in the franchise. I enjoy 2, 3, and 5, but the first and this one for me are the best. And I just think this movie does a great job of keeping what you love about the franchise, but I feel like what I really love about this movie and kind of one of the issues I have with the sequels is all the sequels just kind of blend together for me. I feel like this movie actually added some new stuff and tried to do something different with the franchise. Like I love the fact you had the whole idea of this being going back to a bloodline of a family. And that's the thing I think makes it really interesting. It's not a group of just random strangers or a group of friends. It's actually, I think the family element just adds this to me more. It just made it more interesting for me, where I really cared about the characters more in this movie, and I think the cast just have good chemistry where you really buy them as a family. So I think the characters, for me, I cared about the characters. They had great chemistry. I love the opening, and this is one of the other things I thought it did a great job when it came to being New York Fest, is that I love how the opening goes to a different time period where you have to go from, you play the Stargirl show. And I love the opening for the opening disaster, I think it's a great opening disaster when it comes to, these movies always have like that big opening when it comes to the first disaster, and this movie has a great one. And I just loved like how it goes back to a different time period, which I thought was just really cool and interesting too. So it's just a great movie. The deaths I think are great in this movie, and I definitely want to see more. At like more like this to me made me excited for the franchise again. Like I said, like the original and this one, with this one being my favorite, are the best ones in the franchise. And yeah, I enjoyed 2, 3, 5 those sequels, but they like I said, the sequels all blend together. It just felt like it did something different. And my and RIP to God, the actor who played I'm forgetting the actor's name, but Tony Todd. Yes, I was forgetting the actor's name for a second. Yeah, I like Tony Todd is a great actor, and I love how to reveal what his backstory is in this movie because he's in the first two movies. He's in the fifth one. He does the voice for 2 scenes in the third one. Where he does the voice of like the devil at the for that wide, and then you hear his voice on the train at the end, I believe, in the subway. He wasn't in the fourth one, but he was always a mysterious character. And they did a great job where you found his backstory, but it does it in a way where it's like, oh, that's really smart and interesting. It connects really well to the overall franchise. And his performance, I thought, was just very poetic, where it's just like he gives a very great emotional performance. Like his last line, I think just really is just his love towards the fans, and I love the fact the scene feels like a goodbye to the fans that have loved this franchise, that have loved this character. And I got to meet Tony Todd at the Benson one time, and he was a really sweet, nice guy. And RIP to Tony Todd because to me he was a great actor, and he will be missed in this franchise. He was, even though he had a small role in this franchise, only appeared in like one scene in the first two, and in this one, and then I believe the fifth one he was in that movie where we had a couple of scenes. I always felt like he was with just even the small amount he was given in this movie, his character just always stood out to me, and I do think to me I am gonna miss his character personally from this franchise. Where I just think his character just added like something to the franchise, and I thought this was a very great send off for his character in this movie, and to the actor who, like I said, he was a great actor, and I would definitely miss him. So definitely go check out Fridays and Bloodlines. That's the fun. That's the bad. He does come with some bonus pieces, and that's the blue one. But definitely go check out Fridays and Fan. And for me, it's one of the best horror movies this year. Like to me, love this movie. The last thing I picked up is the Pinocchio movie that was released on Netflix. That was directed by Guillermo del Toro. Great movie. I love the stop motion animation, how it looks in the movie, and I think this movie does a great job putting a new spin on Pinocchio's story. Where it's really dark, and Guillermo del Toro like kind of has like he has like a dark vibe with some of his movies, like a horror vibe, or just like when you watch movies like Pen Labyrinth, or which is a movie that I love, or he did movies like Mimic. He has like a horror vibe towards his movies, and just like a dark vibe, gothic vibe towards his movies. And I just think this. I just really love this story and how it's done in a way with fresh and new with the Pinocchio story. Like to me, I would say this is one of the best modern interpretations of Pinocchio, and I love the look of Pinocchio in this movie. It looks really cool. Like I said, the stop motion looks fantastic in this movie. The voice cast, I think does a great job. And just you really come to care about Pinocchio and the characters and the relationship between him and his father. So it's just a great movie that I wish was released in theaters. This was dropped on a streaming service, and this was a movie that deserved to be released in theaters. Personally, like to me, if I had to recommend like a cool new modern spin on like a old animated movie. This to me is one of the best modern spins when it comes to this Pinocchio, this new Pinocchio movie done by Guillermo del Toro. And Guillermo del Toro, I just think he's one of the best directors. I love a lot of his movies, so he's just one of the directors. But I really love his style in his movies. And stop motion, I think, I know it takes a lot of hours to do stop motion in movies, and I just love the look of stop motion. So just great movie, Pinocchio. And this is, I believe an Criteria class. Excuse me. This is a Criteria class, and I just love the artwork on the front. And Criteria always does. They're like Arrow to me, but they always do a great job with their like box sets and lessons. So you have the front, the back, and it comes with Pinocchio. You got Pinocchio's nose there, which I think that's really cool. Pinocchio's nose like sticking out, and you do have, I believe, 4K and Blu-ray. So it does come with the Blu-ray and 4K in there, and it also comes with a little book. So I believe, yeah, it goes into like some concept part there when it comes to the making of the movie. But just great streaming movie. One of the best streaming movies on Netflix, personally. This movie, like I said, I wish it was released in theaters. And to me, it's a great Guillermo del Toro movie. It's a great modern spin on Pinocchio. And I would just definitely recommend to go check out the Pinocchio movie that was released on Netflix. Like, to me, if you haven't checked out this movie, to me, you missed out on a great Guillermo del Toro movie. And Criteria, like I said, they do a great job with their packaging, and just like, I love the artwork on the front. Great movie. I highly recommend go check out Netflix Pinocchio. So that's all the stuff I picked up. Until next time, movie fans.